Welcome back to another episode of The Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week, we discussed some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt and Masterpiece by Big Thief, two different albums sonically that had very similar themes, lyrics, and concepts.
Similar tone. They were both very depressing.
Yes, exactly.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
One, I think, a little bit better than the other one.
Uh-huh.
Whether or not you agree which one I think is the one I'm talking about.
Pray for the Wicked, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. My favorite. Brendan Urie really is...
the king of depression, because he makes me fucking sad.
He's the dead bachelor himself.
That's true. But something that isn't depressing is Friends.
That's true.
And
we don't have any.
That's true.
That's
which
why
is
we
even
do a
more
podcast.
depressing.
Yeah, no, exactly. But AJ, one of our only friends is actually here in the studio with us right now.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary pals, please welcome back to the Family Album Podcast, Maria Franckiewicz.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back, Maria.
It's good to be back. I'm so happy.
For all you family heads who've been around since season 1, Maria came on, I think, like one of our later episodes of that season.
It was, yeah.
Bringing on the theme of beach weather.
Yeah.
Which was appropriate because it was like the springtime. And now she's back giving us a new theme. But for a little refresh, Maria, what are your musical tastes, background, interests?
I listen to everything.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit of everything. I try to. But I'm horrible with, like, just listening to a straight album. It's like, I'll find a song and I'll be like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'll find a song, you know. So I do like listening to your guys' albums and, you know.
I'm glad.
Figuring out, like, oh, that's a cool new song. Like, I should, you know. Or, like, I'll see, like, I don't know, music in the background of, like, some video on Instagram.
TikTok.
And I'm like, that's a really good song. Like, let me look it up. But
Isn't that how you discovered beach weather?
Yeah, actually, it was.
From a TikTok.
I found a TikTok about, who was it? I want to say it was Pedro Pascal.
That's right.
I think we were talking about him.
Yeah.
But
we did, yeah.
Jeremy Shada, who we're doing today, sorry, spoiler alert.
That's our theme.
It's okay.
I did not discover him from a TikTok video or anything. I, like, knew who he was. I didn't know he wrote music.
Same.
For a long time, but I knew who he was previous to me finding out he did music.
Yeah.
So you listen to everything. Have you listened to Shrexophone?
Like the saxophone guy.
Who else, you know?
What's Shrexophone?
Oh, AJ.
Oh, boy.
We'll
show you later.
My dear AJ. Boy, do I have a video after we record this.
All right.
But
It's
Maria,
interesting.
Maria already mentioned our theme, or her theme for this episode is Jeremy Shada. I've pronounced it as Shada this entire time.
I thought that was that, too.
I could be saying it wrong. Like,
Who knows?
I actually really don't know.
Let us know in the
Poll
comments.
of the week,
Is
is
it,
it Shada or
Shada,
Shada?
Shada?
is it a long A or a short A?
The funny thing, they're both going to be spelled the same, so we're not going to know which one to pick.
We'll know.
You got to put, like,
it's
the
like
line.
the GIF debate. It's the GIF debate,
Exactly.
honestly. Yeah. Except nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean, the Shada family will probably
true.
care.
That's true.
But
The Shada Shada estate.
sorry, Shadas.
We'll be in contact. But I guess for those who don't know, Jeremy Shada is the voice of Finn from Adventure Time.
One of my all-time favorite shows.
I had never seen it
Ever.
in full.
It is a masterpiece.
I hear it's really good.
Like, during the COVID season, I binged all of Adventure Time.
So did I.
And it was... Like, you know, it's one of those shows where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, it's just a silly little show with, like, silly little characters. But then you hit, like, where they're like, oh, let's give plot. And the character development, I don't know how you felt about it. I felt everyone's character development in that show was
perfect.
Peak. Yeah.
perfect.
And I've heard great things about it.
The thing is, too, that's kind of incredible because creator, Alex Muto, I think that's what his name is.
I thought, like, Pendleton Ward, I thought he made Adventure Time. Could be
That
wrong.
sounds
There's
familiar.
definitely a lot of people
There's
that go into making a
In
show.
the description.
There's definitely a guy named Alex Muto
Yeah.
who is, I think, maybe on the executive board for
Yeah.
it, or was when it was like airing. But yeah, no, the show is incredible. Then we can get back to Jeremy Shada. The show is incredible because, like, honestly, it's surprisingly emotionally sophisticated, and it hits you. Like, when it hits you like no other show ever has. Not even like the best of like standard adult TV. Like, this kids show knew how to do it better than like a lot of shows I've seen
that are like now.
Absolutely. While still keeping it, like appropriate for children too.
and lighthearted.
Yeah.
for the most part.
Did you watch the spinoff Fiona and Cake series?
I
'Cause
haven't finished it.
that, like, I really got in my feels at the end of that because you, like, start to see the more, like, adult tones to it.
Yeah.
And, like, you just sit there and you're like, holy crap, like, these are situations and stuff that I'm going through in my, like 25-year-old life, and you're like a kid's show. I mean, Fiona and Cake is on HBO Max, and
Max.
there's
More
like an adult rating
adult-oriented,
because they like curse and stuff in that show.
They do.
But even Adventure
Wow.
Time, yeah, like Adventure Time, like obviously is for kids. It wasn't hard to like
Yeah.
they don't curse, but like you're still watching. You're like, oh my gosh, like there's random tears just coming out of
Yeah.
my eyes,
Aw.
like watching this episode, and you're just like, wow, like that was like strange advice that I, you know,
Can like take to heart.
I took
Yeah.
from this
Uh-huh.
episode made for like, you know, 13-year-olds. Yeah, 5-year-olds, you know. You're like, whoa, like that was good, you know.
Yeah.
And it really shows the fact that Jeremy Shada definitely has a lot of vocal range, which I guess is a good segue
Yeah.
to talk about these two projects that you brought us. What are the projects?
So I brought his EP from 2021 called Mad Love. And then I brought his album that he just released 2024
Yeah.
called Neon Dreams. He just
right.
released it a couple weeks ago, I think.
I think it was
early.
in January.
Was it January?
Wasn't
I can say when we get to the history.
I know.
Like I
know
said,
the
I'm
EP
really
was.
bad about dates, but
The EP was released January of quarantine.
Yeah.
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 2020. Very recent
Actually, no, it
projects.
was right before quarantine then, right?
Yeah, because 2
Yeah.
months before.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a time.
What a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before BA before Animal Crossing.
BAC.
Yeah.
God, I love Animal Crossing. But
Maria, what project would you like to start with first?
Whatever. I mean, we could start with Bad Love since it's
The first
shorter
one.
EP. Like,
yeah, and I feel
you
like it
know.
shows a nice progression as well.
It does.
In his
Oh,
career.
without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, Matt, take it away.
So here's a little short history because Mad Love is a short EP.
That's true.
It was released on January 1st of 2020. Wait. It says... Oh, it was actually released 2021.
Oh shit!
But it says 2020
on Spotify.
on Spotify.
That is weird.
Maybe he like put it in on like I don't know how Spotify works, but maybe he like put it in
2020.
and then maybe the date for releasing got pushed back.
Maybe there's like some kind of edit or something.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Well, I'll go with 2021 because that's
Yeah.
what's written on the actual date.
Okay.
So it was technically still in the middle of quarantine, but like in the tail end of it, sort
Yeah.
of like phasing out, I guess. Yeah, January 1st, 2021 is the first EP, and it was released through Jeremy Shada Records. Themes all across the album include just sort of a relationship
Relationships.
trifles
Yeah. That
and,
seems to be a common theme.
and pondering,
a lot of pondering.
lots of pondering.
And a lot of wandering in terms
Yes.
of musically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He explores a lot of different, like I wouldn't even say genre bends. He like kind of dips
Into
little
different
bit
styles.
into little like things of pop. It's all
Yeah.
very reminiscent of like I would say like 2010s
Oh, 100%.
on this
Yeah.
EP. The next EP gets even more interesting, which is cool, but or not EP album. I'm a
I
little
got
bit of a
some
mess
stuff
today,
about
guys.
That album too. So, but we'll
I'm
get
excited
there
for
when we
that
get
one.
there.
But I think like before we like move on, you can definitely tell this is a first attempt at music because this was like the first project he released.
He released a single before
single,
this
okay.
called Ballerina.
Gotcha.
He wrote that song for his wife, by the way.
Aw.
I don't know if you heard that one or not.
I did.
I didn't listen
It's
to that.
beautiful.
It's
It's
very
just a
nice.
cute little song, and
Nice.
he like was engaged to her name's Carolyn,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "I'm gonna write you a song for our wedding,"
Oh,
and he wrote Ballerina. I think it's a very beautiful song, and they're a beautiful couple. And I mean, they just had a kid too, like
wow.
recently.
Wow.
So
Now that's
they're
an adventure.
they're just a beautiful. Which he wrote another song for his kid.
uh-huh.
I don't remember what it's called, like 1 + 1 = 3 or something
called
like that.
Mad Love.
It's called Neon Dreams.
It's called Uh-oh.
It's called Will They Won't They.
Oh my god. But I guess without further ado, shall we just hop right into it?
Absolutely.
So the CP opens with Will They Won't They, one of Jeremy Shada's most popular tracks. And I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I think the big thing about this EP is that it lacks a lot of direction. Like he's trying out a lot of things to really kind of hone in on his sound, which kind of detracts from my overall listening experience. And I think here is kind of a good example of that. Like the lyrics are very cheesy in concept, and the music is kind of like all over the place. It's got this kind of like standard pop ballad with like a little bit of a Latin twist, and then it has kind of some dated production techniques like the vinyl crackle muffled vocal intro, the him just like stopping the music and just talking to the audience. It's like a little all over the place for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. This song's not my favorite
Yeah.
from his EP, but I do like how he does have those little
Yeah.
differences. Like,
interruptions.
you know, he was experimenting a lot with
he was finding his
sounds and everything. Because I mean, it's hard. Like he's singing songs on kid shows, then to go to like wanting an adult. Yeah. So I think he definitely was trying to find his sense of style with this album.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
I don't know. Like I still like I bop to it. You know, like
catchy.
it's catchy.
I'll give it that.
But yeah, like the intro with the static crackling, like. I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know.
If we really want to.
Been there, done that, you know. You know, but it is catchy, you know.
I was gonna like say something about like, oh, or like make a joke like, oh, the vintage crackling. It's like, oh, when did this come out? But a few minutes ago, I was genuinely trying to figure out what year this came out. So I guess it kind of worked in a weird way.
Prophecy.
It fooled Spotify into thinking it came out a year before. Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty decent opener for the EP. And I think the tone of it, for the most part, is like, given the fact that there is a lot of like, I don't want to say ambiguity, but he kind of, like, it's called Will They, Won't They? Which I think kind of the whole sort of goofy production and like not quite knowing where it is, I feel like it kind of adds to like the overall idea. I gotta say, he might be an enemy of the Friends fan base. Considering he did say that Joey and Phoebe should have been together, which I haven't seen Friends in years.
I've never seen Friends at all.
That is a take, if I do say so myself.
I'm not the biggest Friends fan, but
there's a reason why I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
Valid. Honestly, valid.
I would have the TV on when I would be doing homework, like in high school, and then like I'd be like, oh, I'd be watching SpongeBob because every Gen Z person likes SpongeBob.
Exactly. It's part of our personality. It comes with it.
It's in the fucking zeitgeist, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But then Nick at Night would show up.
Nick at Night.
Classic.
Which I would either get like the George Lopez show. Full House.
Family Matters. Malcolm in the Middle.
Not so much Family Matters. But then I would get Friends. They did a lot of Friends reruns.
Yeah.
And I've inadvertently seen like the entirety of Friends just because I needed TV.
It was on in the
background
background.
And I didn't care enough to change the channel because I was like, I got math homework. You know,
that was Scrubs for me. Yeah.
I had a teacher who did a song on Scrubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it I'm No Superman?
Yeah. No.
Holy shit.
It's not. I'm not plugging him because I hate that guy, but we're not going to. But yeah, just wanted to have a fact for you. Anyway, yeah, this song is very reminiscent of 2010's pop. And
100%.
I do like the bass on this track a lot. And I will give him credit. Whoever his musicians are, they're pretty good.
They're very good.
So I think he plays a lot of the instruments himself. Don't quote me on that, but he does post TikToks of him doing bass, doing guitar, singing. And then there's some other gentleman that does like keyboard sound effects and whatever with him. But he does post a lot of videos of him doing bass. So if you thought the bass was good, it's probably him. Not to give credit to someone else,
that's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Because it's self-released pretty much, right?
Through Jeremy Shada Records.
Exactly.
AJ.
Yeah.
Columbia who?
I can't wait to see who else goes on that label.
I'm trying to get on there. I hope we can get the Family Album podcast to be on Jeremy Shada Records.
Shada, we know you're listening.
God,
big fan.
Yeah.
If we got him on the podcast, I'd be so happy.
That would rip. And we just talk about Adventure Time and not music.
I mean, you'd have to invite me back if you get him on the podcast.
Yeah, you did introduce us to that.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it's a pretty decent first track.
Yeah, and I disagree. I think it's kind of whatever. But next up, we have Minutes Away, and I think this is a big improvement. I like this one.
The bass on this one is even better.
Agreed. Very much so. I like how it has this kind of like disco feel to it, which she definitely leans onto more in the next album.
In Neon Dreams.
Exactly. Kind of like see the progression. It's like, oh, this worked here. We're going to kind of go with that, which is very cool.
I got to say, it was at this point, like, I was really impressed by his vocals. Because, like, on this track especially, I feel like you can really just feel the passion, like, when he's singing.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of like little riffs, and I'm like, God damn,
he does do that.
Okay,
his range is insane. Like he can hit low notes, he can hit high notes, and everything in between. And I'm like, hey, like that was pretty good. Yeah,
I'll take it. It definitely is a great pick me up from the last track.
Definitely.
I feel like
a nice energy boost. I like the guitar riff during the chorus has the kind of like little wah wah accents, which is really nice. And yeah, as you said, the bass is a standout as well as the strings that come in towards the last verse and chorus.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, those are really nice.
The synth and the organs are like such a nice touch
Yeah.
for this song. He obviously understands how to dip into the genre like enough to
Yeah.
make it substantial.
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
he
Stay
did
true.
that better on this track than the last one.
Very much so. I think the only like criticism I have is that it sounds like a little Disney Channel original movie core, just like a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a fine track. I think I definitely like it better than the first one.
I definitely like this one better than the first one, but it's still not my favorite one on the album.
Oh boy.
Oh.
But I like the beginning, how it kind of sounds like rock, like
Yeah,
heavy
like rock
rockish,
focus.
and then it like comes down a little bit. But yeah, like this song, I really like everything y'all said. I feel like you wrapped it up pretty nicely with I was gonna say the synths
Let's
at
go.
the end, you know.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So,
Love that.
Hell yeah.
but I have the same opinions on it as you guys.
Good shit. Well, with nothing else, we can move on to the third track of the EP. We're already there.
I gotta be honest.
Penultimate track.
I gotta be honest. This might be my least favorite track on here.
I think I agree. It's called Stranger.
Yes, it is. It is called Stranger. I feel like this would have killed in the height of 2016.
Absolutely.
Like something about this, I was like, yeah, I feel like if I heard this in 2016, like genuinely, I would keep listening to this. But
Yeah, like you did do raise a good point that it is very reminiscent of like early 2010 or like just 2010s music in particular. Like it stays true to like a lot of those tropes and like those styles.
and honestly, that's not a bad thing
No.
because that was probably, in my opinion, one of the
The
Renaissance. Is that the plural? I never.
Renaissance.
I realized Renaissance is not a word that people put into plural form very often.
It's a noun, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it could have a plural.
Renaissance. It doesn't sound good.
Renaissance.
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 I felt like this track was really. It reminded me a lot of like Ricky Montgomery. If you've ever listened to any of his music,
I don't think so.
he's cool.
Okay. And that's the end of that.
He's cool. You know. Yeah. No. Honestly, I it's not my favorite track on here. I think
Yeah.
definitely like the one before it might be. But
It's his kind of like take on like an acoustic ballad. So like, he's really just kind of like getting the gambit of all like the styles that he wants to tackle, which is respectable.
perfect heartthrob pop.
Yeah, one might say.
I did in my notes actually.
That's a quote from Mac Lass.
That's true.
I actually noted it's kind of interesting. This track specifically, his voice reminded me of like Tally Hall, like just his vocal delivery. It specifically reminded me of the track "Be Born."
Banana Man.
Banana Man, exactly. Especially with the music video.
Yeah. We can't do him like that.
No, he would never. But like it's specifically on "Be Born," I don't know why the vocal.
Be
styling-
Born?
Yeah, the vocal styling
Oh.
sounded not lyrical.
Oh.
Just vocal. Very strange.
Maria, have you ever listened to Tally Hall?
I don't think I have.
I don't know if you'd be into it.
Well, we're showing you Shrexophone. You
All right,
can
we gotta-
show me Tally
We'll
Hall.
go tit for tat on that.
We'll show Maria Banana Man
Oh,
by Tally Hall.
I'm so sorry in advance. But what do you think, Maria? Best Stranger?
No, I agree with you guys. Like, this is my least favorite song on his EP.
Yeah.
I do think he sounds very angelic, like lovely, you know, trying to get that like
emotion,
symphony
yeah.
range. But it just didn't match like the other three songs.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of a weird, like, this is
Kind
here.
of like tonal shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it shifts back to the
it's all
other two
minutes away.
songs.
Yeah. It's very, very, very odd.
So it was just kind of like, it felt out of place. Like if it wasn't on this album, if it was like a single or something, I felt like I would have been more like, I love this.
Yeah.
But you go from listening to
Yeah, in between minutes
two
away and
songs that are
uh-oh.
kind of the same,
Yeah.
that, and then another song that sounds like the first, you know? So you're kind of just like, whoa, like
Yeah, whiplash.
we slowed down. Yeah.
Exactly.
I try my best when it comes to EPs to like not be like so critical because like I like to think if like albums are supposed to be the entree, EPs are supposed to be like the sampler
Yeah.
platter. They're the cheese tray of music.
Exactly.
You know?
The fried mozzarella.
The charcuterie board of music, if you will. Because like EPs are supposed to kind of show the audience like, yeah, I make stuff. This is just some stuff that I'm making right
Yeah,
now.
just kind of like a little collage. But anyway, I think Stranger's kind of mid.
Yeah, it's all right.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
That was a big uh-oh on my part. And that'll transition us to the last track of this EP. Uh-oh.
What a wonderful transition.
Thank you. They do call me the king.
it's not Uh-oh is definitely not my favorite track, but I think it's the strongest track on here.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
The instrumental is it's really good. I also really like how he experiments with like the 6/8 feel.
Yeah.
Because I think like the more bouncy rhythm kind of suits him a bit more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would say.
I did say this track kind of reminded me of like Panic at the Disco for some reason. I think it's just his vocal style and just like the overall energy.
When AJ
that he carries.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I have a
Oh.
little fun fact about this song. As
AJ might hate this because
No.
he hates Panic at the Disco.
No, actually, like then
Yeah.
you might like this better.
Okay.
So when he was writing this song, this is from some interview that he was talking. They mentioned this. He wanted to write something that was kind of like Michael Bublé, Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra-y or
A
whatever.
little croon.
And then he wrote this song and hated it.
Gotcha.
And he was like, I have to swap the feel. So then he was like, oh, what if I make it more Panic at the Disco?
Whoa.
And then he was like, oh, it's too much. And then he was like, what if we throw, because then this is when Billie Eilish was getting big. So he's like, what if we try to throw like a Billie Eilish sounding thing in there with Panic at the Disco?
Okay.
And I don't know what they're called, but
like his mixers,
the
engineer.
like whoever was helping him
Yeah.
was like, that's going to be a fun sound. Sure, like let's go for it. And this is like what you guys heard was what they came up with.
So it's the mixture of Panic and Billy. No
I think
croon
so.
Stuff? Okay,
No, they-
gotcha.
Interesting.
But then
Ditch
that
that.
sponsored or not sponsored, segued
Yeah.
into you earlier said like the one song sounded vintagey. He made an album shortly after this called Vintage,
Oh, that's
did,
right.
yeah.
and he channeled more of that like Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
Michael Bublé,
The crooner style.
sounding
Yeah.
stuff.
Interesting.
But so this song alone, the first time he did it, trying to make it that vintage sound, and they didn't like it.
And then he made a whole album.
Really, what he was like, this is what inspired me to write Vintage, like the whole album.
Huh.
So that's my fun fact
Wow.
for this song.
That's
you know,
a pretty fun fact.
That was a very fun
honestly.
fact. Thank you for telling us.
of course,
Yeah.
I did my little research, you know. But this is my favorite song off of the album.
I can see why.
I love it. It's very upbeat. It is like bumpy back and
Yeah,
forth. I like it. Bouncy.
Love that.
I could always just jam to this song, you know.
There's a nice halftime break.
Yeah.
We love that.
I think it's like second place for the one that I like.
Agreed.
on here.
Do you guys like Minutes Away better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I got like a 50-50 shot of picking which one y'all like
Yeah,
better.
pretty much.
So I'm like,
It's
ooh.
true. I like toward the end, there's like more of a reggae feel at one point. I was not expecting that whatsoever, but it kind of worked. Like it was cool.
He's trying stuff.
I like how he always kind of, with all of his songs, it seems like he likes to have like a bit of like a series. I was gonna say a series of events, but that sounds like Lemony Snicket. He likes to kind of have like
Progression.
a progression,
Yeah.
and it builds up like in the bridge specifically to something
Yeah.
like new.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I mean, he does that well. You know, that's something that a lot of like
He's got a good formula.
2010s pop would do.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, no, I mean,
He's achieving what he wants.
Yes, he is.
And I think it does actually work as a nice closer, kind of like a last like hurrah to close off this EP. Keep up the energy. But if we got nothing else, shall we get to our final thoughts?
I had something else.
Matt has something else.
The horns were working overtime.
That they were. I did
Honestly.
like the horns.
They
They
were.
were very nice.
I'm also confused because I wrote 3 times. This is where his vocals were at his best. And now I'm like, fuck. Well, which one?
The whole song.
For 3 different tracks.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's really funny.
It just got better and better. What can I say?
Exactly.
It shows the progression.
Yeah.
That's true.
Each song, he was like, let me cook.
Uh-huh.
Let me cook.
Let's do
And then
it.
Stranger happened, and then it didn't. But then,
Yeah, he was like, ooh, tone it down with that one.
Oh,
a
what's
little bit.
this?
well, yeah. Final thoughts?
Final
Maria?
thoughts. I think this was a great way to start for
Okay.
him, like transitioning from that I
medium,
sing songs
yeah.
and kids shows to I want my own adult career. I think this was great.
Yeah.
It is how you said a sampler. There's some things that I felt he really learned from this listening to
Oh,
his
yeah.
other albums because I've listened to all of Vintage and I listened to all of Neon Dreams. And you could just tell like he really took criticism and changed a lot of stuff
Yeah,
and he gets
totally.
way better with each song he puts out
Yeah.
in my opinion for both those albums and any singles he just put out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but I think it is a great starting place. Again, favorite track is "Oh No" for me. Least favorite track is "Stranger."
Yeah, valid.
But
And
I still
rating?
enjoyed it. Rating, I definitely would give this like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
What would that be? Like a B minus,
Give it like a B or C tier.
C plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my rating for it.
Bet. Matt, what'd you think of Mad Love?
I think it was. Sorry, I don't know what just happened when I said that. I think
I think.
a bit of radio interference, family head. Sorry about that. We are recording in a bunker after all, as
That's
we've
right.
established. We have established a lot of lore, AJ.
Nah, which, I'm kind of grateful about, not gonna lie.
nah. We got to make this fun, AJ.
Yeah, but I gotta edit this episode.
Yeah, but like we got to make it
But
fun.
Matt, it's the night before this episode
we
comes
were
out.
so fun in season 1, AJ. What happened to
The
us?
fans loved us in season
They
1.
really did.
They were really good.
They want lore. If you give them lore, they'll come back.
All right, we bought this bunker in the year
It says 2021, but it was really 2020.
2020. Yeah, that it's actually it's interesting parallels between Jeremy Shada and us.
If you hear a lot of record crackling, we're trying to confuse you as to when this actually came out.
Exactly. The bunker was actually built under a Chinese restaurant. So if you see Koreans seeping from the ceiling, that's where that's from.
And if you hear a strange alarm in the background, apparently it's a motorcycle
It is a
phone.
motorcycle phone, or a phone shaped like a motorcycle.
That's true.
Motorcycle phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it was a good sampler of like what he has to offer so far. I would say not to like spoil my thoughts for the next album. I definitely think like he gives a lot more things that I can point to that like I like on the next one. And here I'm happy saying I like half of it a bit. Like the second and the fourth track, Uh-Oh, which is the fourth one, then the second one was
Minutes away.
Can't you tell how much I like them because I forgot
Yeah,
their names?
absolutely.
My favorite.
But yeah, I would say like it definitely was like a good start to just kind of show his fan base like, hey, I do a lot more than voice the kid with the funny hat. So
Yeah.
like I think it's really, really cool that this was his like after Ballerina, this was like his sort of sampler platter, as we keep kind of referring it to.
Yeah.
I would probably give this like a high C and maybe like a 5. Yeah, around 5.
Solid 5
out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I don't really see myself listening to like the full EP again, and I would maybe listen to like really only Uh-Oh or Minutes Away. If I don't really see myself listening to the third track. Maybe the first track if I'm really just
If you're really feeling friends.
yeah, if I'm really feeling mad, one might say.
Mad in love.
I,
All right, sound the alarm. That was pretty good. Is this what you wanted, Matt? More lore?
This is what I wanted.
All right.
I can't wait for Nate Roos to show up.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's gone.
I miss the edits, Maria. I miss the old AJ.
Straight from the go, AJ.
Chop up the soul. Yeah.
Man, when AJ launches himself into controversy,
Oh my God,
I
I'm
can't
not-
wait to go solo.
I'm not dropping vultures, I swear.
I can't. Yeah.
It's called pigeons.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. I think it was a pretty decent start, but I don't think it's like cohesive enough to say that like I love the whole project.
Yeah, definitely.
Like not nearly as much as the next one, I feel like. But hey, it was pretty cool to see what he had to offer in the beginning and see where he is now.
Exactly.
So
I think that's very fair. I definitely agree. I think I just like spoiler. I like the next album better. I think you can very much tell it's a first attempt. He doesn't really have a lot of direction on like what he wants to do, so he's just trying different stuff, which is cool. And you definitely see he lands on a sound in this EP, which is very cool as well. I think the instrumentals are kind of the highlight all throughout.
Yeah.
And if he plays that himself, that's incredible. That
is pretty cool.
His vocal styling, I feel like he's just not as confident as he could be. So like you see moments of that, but he's not like really reaching his full potential as a vocalist, and especially as a lyricist. The lyrics are very basic on this project.
they're a little on the nose.
Yeah. I would say very on the nose at points as well. Some of the production techniques are a little dated with like the 2010s influence, and if that's what he's going for, that's great. that just doesn't like really pique my interest as a listener. Like the kind of glitching, the vocal kind of like muffled, like the if you know what I mean. I'm gonna put a sample in there.
You should keep the noise you just made. Oh my god!
Pass up.
I think it's on Minutes Away. I think. Or I could just be Mandela affecting.
Are you talking about the staticky noise from the first one?
Maybe it's on Neon Dreams.
Will they? Won't they?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't remember, but there's like parts. There's like parts where it's like after like the first chorus going into the verse, where they have like these muffled like pitched like backup vocals going like,
Oh my god! I definitely am gonna go back and re-listen to
Yes,
everything
what the
because
fuck I'm
I have
talking
no idea
about.
what you're talking about. Bad.
The first time you did it, you like had this posture about you. You like hunched your.
Yeah. Oh my god!
It's like a snake regurgitating
God.
his fucking like mouse meal. Like Jesus Christ, I'm crying. I'm crying.
who needs edits when you have pure comedy, Matt?
Oh my god.
What'd you say? You're the king at
I'm
it
the
all.
king.
So
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I feel like there's nothing inherently bad about this EP. It's just very basic, and there's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
But for a first attempt, it's very solid. So I give it a solid C tier. And I guess with that, we can move on to our next album, Neon Dreams by Jeremy Shada,
2024.
which was self-released on January 10th, 2024. And in the words of Shada himself, it is an 80s-inspired pop rock banger that is also the first of a 2-part album. So stick around for the follow-up if you find any of these tracks interesting.
Oh shit. That's cool.
Yeah. You got a little more experimental. Something that's also really cool, I noticed on the Genius lyrics page, like almost every song has unique artwork for like
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's really, really cool actually.
He uses a lot of I don't know, not like fan art, I would say, but he like
Commissions.
does get, I think it's
Yeah.
commissions, but it's on his singles, like if you like, because these were all singles before they were on the EP and stuff. If you look at them, like some of the artwork for them, they are pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like them. And then like when you click on into the song, how sometimes it'll play that short little clip.
Yeah.
That's also like
the
that too.
background.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool actually.
And they all have like a similar theme that kind of relates to just the overall sound of this album, which is really cool as well. We got nothing else. We can just hop right in.
Absolutely.
So the track opens with Forever Young, and immediately off the bat, this is just a huge improvement from Mad Love. You just hear like he's a lot more confident on here. The production, even though it was good on Mad Love, it's even better on this track.
Yeah.
He kind of sticks to a specific sound and kind of rocks with that, being this kind of 80s synthwave, retro nostalgia feel, which he works with very well. There's some really solid fucking bass work on this track as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I would say so.
It's a very solid opener.
I love the synthwave feel, like kind of right off the bat with this one.
Yeah.
This is like a song that I would expect with the title Neon Dreams. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, this is kind of the title track. He does mention Neon Dreams in this track.
He does
Yeah.
mention Neon Dreams in this track.
The saxophone is also really cool.
Anyway.
The saxophone's also really cool.
Oh, yeah. I like how it kind of opens with that. It's nice.
Yeah, I do like the fading in of the saxophone
Yeah.
and fading out of it at the end. I do like the jazz
It's
aspect
nice.
that he decided to
Little
put to it.
influence.
Yeah, I like it. you
Yeah.
know.
I think for some reason the song reminded me of Stay by Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi, just in terms of feel.
Yeah, I did kind of
Yeah.
think that too.
Uh-huh.
But I was gonna write that, but I forgot the name of the song, and I didn't care enough to actually.
That's valid. I don't think a lot of people care about the Kid Laroi.
AJ loves that song, so that's why he knew
Top
it right off the
favorite song.
bat.
Look out for my Spotify rap, guys.
Wait, so you said Justin Bieber and the Kid Laroi. So like he's a kid, but he's also like
Laroi.
He's Laroi.
It's kind of it's
Is
a
that-
funny thing. You see,
Is that what I'm supposed to take away from this?
it's a bit like
He's
the Little
kid.
Rascals, yeah.
Little giant.
The Laddle, the Laddle Roy
Laddle
School.
Royce.
The Little Roycals.
That's a Laddle Roy School.
Oh my god.
This is the comedy that we get when we don't have edits put in.
It's the best, right?
Yeah, edits are now strictly on Tom Hates albums.
Yep.
Hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag
Go watch
sponsored.
Tom
Yeah, watch
Hates
that
albums.
show. New episode
don't.
coming out next week.
Oh, that's true. I'm so excited for that episode to come out.
Matt, it's his favorite
It's my
episode ever
favorite
recorded.
fucking episode I've ever recorded.
Oh, I look forward to it then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think like the only thing I don't really care for, there's like these slowdowns that happen after the chorus that have this kind of like dated style to them that I'm not really super into, but like everything surrounding it's like pretty good, and the instrumentation especially. I just love that sound that he's going for.
I think honestly with this track, for me, the only thing that I didn't love was like he has a good singing voice, but I'm not the biggest fan of his delivery like on this track because I find that he likes to fit
Into
in
the
like
night of the neon dreams.
You sounded like
Blink 182.
Blink-182.
Tom DeLonge.
Thank you for that, AJ.
that was beautiful. Jeremy Shada, if you would like to record any backbeats with AJ,
Hey, want to do it,
you know?
bro? I got you.
We also know a rapper by the name of Smokestack.
We do.
If you'd like to.
You want a hype man?
No, what was it? Fuck, what was I gonna say? I completely
Sorry.
forgot.
Vocal
You were saying
delivery.
his delivery.
Oh yeah, his vocal delivery. I find that he does this thing where he tries to fit in like a lot of words
Yeah.
into like a melody phrase, which I'm not the biggest fan of that.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't exactly pull it off.
it's
Yeah.
just because he has to say it like really, really quickly, and it's like just write less words. Man.
Yeah, that, and then sometimes when he tries to like rhyme the next line with,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, oh,
Kind of a
that
stretch.
works. Like
Sure,
that,
sure.
that works, I guess. You know, I mean, I don't write music, so it definitely is hard.
Yeah.
I get it, but like,
Me personally, I wouldn't do that.
you know, well, it's just like, you know, like Matt said, like the first line will be like 13 words, and then
Yeah.
the second line's like 7, and it like rhymes with something, and you're like,
Oh.
oh,
One of the
I
biggest,
guess we got there.
yeah,
one of the
good job.
biggest examples that this one is not, it doesn't nearly reach the level of like pet peeve that I have. There's this song, I think it's by Sum 41. It's
Oh,
called
nice.
3 a.m.
Okay.
And it's like, it'll be like, she's at the courthouse. And I'm like, what did she do? Like,
Huh?
what? Fucking rap god over here? God. Anyway, but it is a pretty decent opener. And I
Yeah.
think like
It sets the tone very
you can
well.
already like kind of get a sense of like the sound he's going for.
And the improvements.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I agree.
But next up, we have a pretty solid track, though it does transition very oddly from the first one.
Yeah.
Very, very weird, odd cut. But Death on the Dance Floor is a nice follow up.
You can't have Panic at the Disco without Death on the Dance Floor.
That's true. They're mortal enemies.
yeah.
That's the thing.
You know, we did mention this in the last episode that you were on. There are two wolves inside of us. You're either Death on the Dance Floor or you're Panic at the Disco.
Pull of the week. Which one are
Yeah,
you?
which one are you? Forget the long A, short A thing.
No, I'm over that.
We're actually going to change the question midway through its release in the first hour.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Which wolf are you?
Which wolf?
Which wolf are you?
Which wolf?
That's incredible.
I really like the instrumental on this one, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really, really good.
Yeah, leans into that funk disco vibe
Yeah.
found on like Minutes Away, but like even more leaning into that, which is nice.
And so I do have also a lot of good news.
Yeah.
Actually, not a lot. It's really just one thing of good news. But I like this news a lot.
Yeah.
This is the only track. I think I actually mean it this time. This is the only track where I said that it's the best vocally.
Nice.
So I won't cheat you out of me saying three
we
times.
never
everything
know what
else.
happened with Mad Love.
Yeah, no. We'll never know. We'll never know which one was the best vocally. That's the question of the week.
Oh my god.
Anywho, yeah, honestly, his vocals on this are actually pretty good.
Yeah. I agree, and I think like lyrically, he kind of like plays around a little more, like the kind of wordplay with a little misbehavior.
Yeah.
is a cute hook. And I like how he keeps the synthwave like keys over like the disco beat, so he kind of has his cake and eats it too.
Yeah.
So he kind of like does everything he wants to on this track, and the strings come back, which coats the track in a lot of texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I said I really liked the backbeat in this song. Like you kind of put it on, and like if you're in the car with like your bass up a little bit, it,
Oh, yeah.
like it's
You feel it.
like yeah. And I thought he did, excellent with exploring the ranges that he, is now going through for this album. I really liked this song a lot. You could definitely hear. I do like 80s music a lot, like 80s
Yeah.
pop especially. So like you
here.
could definitely hear all the aspects
Yeah.
of 80s pop music. So
Yeah.
I do appreciate that a lot. But yeah, I think that this second one is a heavy hitter. I think he
follow-up.
did great on it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Ghosted by Bon Jovi by Jeremy Shada.
That's incredible.
Yeah, this track is very Bon Jovi coded.
Honestly, it's funny that it's called Ghosted because I think it sounds like Ghost.
Really?
A little bit.
Interesting.
It gave me a lot of Ritual vibes.
Okay. I guess I can see that. This like very much gave me You Give Love a Bad Name. With that kind of constant cowbell kind of riding in there, the shredding guitar. If Tom was here, he would love this track.
That's true.
Yeah, he's a big Bovine Jovi head. Bovine Joni, my fault.
He really likes, it's really just halfway there.
Living on a Prayer.
Whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
You were halfway there.
I was halfway there, yeah. That's like the one that he says he likes because I think he said that. Actually, listen to the episode. I don't need to dive into Tom's childhood.
Whatever one that is.
Yeah, it's one of them. There's a seamless transition between this song and the last song, which I really like.
And this song and the next song, too.
Yeah.
All right, we can wait on that a little bit.
I'm sorry.
We can
I got
fucking
excited.
wait. We can fucking wait till the end of the fucking song, AJ. Fuck's sakes! Like,
My bad. Please, Matt, continue.
the guitar solo is really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think here his lyrics are nice, and he kind of weighs in a lot more with the emphasis and the kind of like haunted, spiritual, like I guess in quotes horror themes to portray this theme of being ghosted is kind of cute. So I like that he's kind of taking more steps to be a little more like playful and creative on this track.
So I also have a fun fact for this song. Jeremy Shada was also in a Netflix original called Julie and the Phantoms.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard it or not.
I don't think so.
So you know the premise that he's a ghost in that show?
I didn't know the premise, but I've heard of the show.
So the point of the show is that Jeremy Shada and his two band members get in like a huge wreck before one of their shows.
Yeah.
They were 80s pop artists.
Oh, nice.
And they get in like a huge wreck because they like went out to go get food or something like that. And
Oh, like a car wreck.
like a car wreck. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was thinking like a shipwreck.
They're sailing to a venue.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's been a long day.
No,
That's
it's okay.
It's okay, Matt. Those
But-
classic 80s pirates.
Yeah, dang them. But so the main girl, Julie, she's like whatever the word is, clairvoyant or whatever.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
she
yeah.
can
Like a
see them
medium or
and
something?
speak to them. Yeah. So she goes to the area they were supposed to play at, and she's like, "Oh crap! Like you guys look like you're fresh out of the '80s," and they're like, "Oh my god! Like you could see us." So then they like follow her around or whatever. When they find out she can sing, she sings really well, but she's got like stage fright. They're like, "We'll be your band."
Gotcha.
So it's kind of then turns into the like they'll appear and like, "Oh, the drums are playing by themselves," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's singing. But he wrote this song based off of that show because
Oh.
Netflix canceled their season 2.
Oh, damn.
And a lot of fans were upset.
Damn.
And he kind of wanted to give them a little
Yeah,
like a little
something else.
something,
Yeah.
feed their, So
Yeah.
he wrote this and he was like, because he posted on TikTok being like, "Oh, like my new song, The Ghost is out. Julie and the Phantoms fans, like you guys are gonna love this one." And so that everyone was like, "What?" So everyone's like, "Is it coming back? Is it coming back?" And he's like, "No, but
You
I
have
gave
this
this to
song."
you." Yeah.
That's true.
But so yeah,
That's really cool.
That's
that's
a dope premise.
Yeah.
it's a dope premise, but I could also see people being like, he wrote it about a show he was in. So I'm glad you guys liked this
Yeah.
song before, like you were like,
Knew
oh,
the
like he wrote it on a
context.
Disney show. Yeah, it wasn't Disney, but it
Was it
kind
like
of
a
is
kid show?
Disney-esque. Yeah,
Okay.
it's for children.
Gotcha.
It's okay, honestly, because like there are a lot worse former like child show actors that are making headway in the media right now.
That is
Absolutely.
Also kind of making waves on podcast medium that I think are handling their show not being like revitalized a lot better than Jeremy Shada.
Yeah,
So I mean, hey,
I can agree with that one. Yeah,
I have a feeling you know who I'm talking about.
I think so.
I don't.
Talk to no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Much love.
The best
much
podcast
love.
of all time.
I mean, they're doing better than us. So I mean,
That's true. But she'll be on next week.
she has edits.
Does she?
No. Yeah, that's where Kyle went, actually.
Yeah, to work on Talk to her. My
Talk
fault.
to her.
Well, if we got nothing else, we can transition into Midnight Promises because that, as I said before, has a really nice transition from Ghosted. I can say that now because we're at the end of the track. So Matt, please, by all means.
It's a pretty decent track. The production on it is, I think the production on this one might be one of the best. I feel like the actual song itself, though, like,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of. I just thought, like, this is mixed pretty well.
Agreed.
And I don't really think it's something I'd return to, though the saxophone, yet again, does kind of
kill.
rip.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice calm down from like the first 3 tracks, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. As like a song, I'm like not going out of my way to listen to it.
This is just the one where I was like, wow, his mixer did a really good job.
Oh yeah, like especially in like the beginning when it has you hear the guitar panning through the left and the right channel.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, he's playing with channels. Let's go. But it's just got a little basic from
bit.
like just kind of like a standard kind of pop synth ballad-esque track. Just a little slow down. And I agree, the saxophone definitely kind of steals the show.
Yeah.
I said that I definitely thought this song sounds like the 1975, like not him singing, but the backbeat.
Okay.
Kind of
I
gives
can
me
kind
those
of see
vibes
that.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
From what I've listened to of the 1975, I could see that a little
Yeah.
bit.
But no, like I agree. Like the first, three songs,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, whoa. And then you
The
hit there and
energy.
it sounds like he's trying to keep the energy up, but it's just not like
Yeah, it's not
there.
at the same level.
But I do still like this song. Like this song I have on like a couple playlists. I like it. I think it's a cool beat anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do agree it's not like up there
Yeah, as
to
is,
yeah.
the other ones were.
levels.
Because I do like the first 3 a lot.
They're good.
So
They're
this
pretty
one's not
decent.
horrible, but this one's not my least favorite one. But yeah,
That's valid.
it takes a huge hit.
Yeah.
But I do like the sax. I do like, the like drum beat, the synthy, like,
the whole overall feel.
I
Yeah.
like it.
It's
So,
nice.
Yeah.
I think something is really cool with the sax solo, the way that he closes with it. It's kind of a tie into the song concept itself because it kind of goes from like the standard feel to more like kind of like a nostalgic sound to reminisce over like this ex that he's talking about. It's like, oh, look at you, Mr. Shada. You're getting creative.
Throwing a couple references in there.
Exactly.
I see,
I like that. Sorry, I'm looking at the next track title and I'm thinking, how do I go into this one?
You can call
The next
him a
track,
bad
the next
boy.
track title, I like that. And the next one is called Bad Boy. It's a pretty good track, actually. I kind of thought this one was decent, a little bit more than decent. Like I actually kind of thought it was
Yeah,
good.
the shuffle feel all over this track is really cool.
He does well with the shuffle feel.
Yeah,
does.
I agree.
And the sax steals the show again.
God, Jeremy Shuffle Shada. That's what they fucking.
Saxy Shuffle
shuffle.
Shada.
That's what they sassy Shuffle Shada.
That's his Instagram.
Yeah, that's his business card.
His gamer
Actually,
tag.
if you see that name on Xbox, man,
know who it is.
Man, you're there with a legend. A legend. He was on the
Royalty.
Cartoon Network show Incredible Crew. He's
Oh,
a
fuck,
legend.
he was on that. I saw that on his Spotify page.
Yeah, I watched that show.
I did too. Mr. Shade, I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Some of the skits weren't bad. The science fair bit was kind of good.
The only one I remember is like edible deodorant.
I remember
Well,
that
Ben
one,
knows a
yeah.
lot about that.
That he does.
AJ's friend Ben ate deodorant.
Oh,
He did do that.
did he like it?
No. But he wanted to.
Okay. Was it a I almost said flavored scented one?
It was, I think it was like Old Spice, like basic. Old
feel
Spice
like-
original.
There are better flavors.
I feel
Original
you
Spice.
can't eat Old Spice. I feel like that's not like you
Allowed.
need like
He
the,
spit it out.
Well, I mean, good.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're going for scents of deodorant, maybe start with like one of the fruit ones or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Bro went straight for like the advanced course.
I feel like Native has a lot of organic materials where you
Yeah.
could just kind of be like, yeah,
I did it.
I did it.
I can feel good about eating this deodorant.
Yeah. What's the thing where the good luck finding my waistline? I just ate native deodorant. You know what I'm talking about? When people,
No, don't think
oh my god! So there was a trend going around where if people ate something healthy, they would make a joke like, "Good luck looking for my waistline," or like, "If you see me floating like a leaf in the wind, like I just had a salad today." You know what I
Okay,
mean?
Yeah.
But if you guys didn't get the reference, sorry.
It's okay.
Good luck seeing my crumbling insides.
What
Just deodorant.
Old
Well-
Spice
Well, Bad Boy.
is the opposite of eating deodorant.
That's true.
That's
well,
true.
I think a lot of bad boys do eat deodorant because you're not supposed to eat it.
Maybe.
Because Ben's a really bad boy.
God. I do like this track though.
Ben, I'm so sorry.
We know you're listening.
Well, yeah, he is. So
Yeah.
I feel really bad. There are two wolves inside of us, though. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters. The saxophone is really good.
Agreed. The guitar also kind of shredding at the end is really tight. Very nice way to end. And I feel like here he really is like at his most confident in terms of like his vocal delivery, which is really cool. And like the energy of the performance is like really kind of like at like its peak. The post chorus before the bridge is kind of silly, where he's just like, "You're a good girl, baby." This line, "I'm a bad boy, baby." Line.
I like that. It's that clarification, AJ. We need that.
You know what? Sometimes he just goes right over my head, so I like that reminder. But I got really nothing else about Bad Boy.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you guys. I mean, I said like the first time I listened to this, I had to like pause it and restart it just because I was kind of like, whoa, like what am I listening to? I thought he was all over the place at first, and then I like stopped, restarted it, and then I was like, oh, actually, like it works, like it's good. But just kind of like going through it, because I think when this album came out, I was like cleaning or something, so I wasn't like fully paying attention, like so I just was like, what is playing on my phone right now? But I do think he works with the chaos, you know, like throwing everything in a song.
He's
so
like, even though he's sticking with the theme, he's like trying different things to keep it interesting.
He fooled his fans because they're like, wait, but he played Finn. He's a good boy.
Were you still thinking about
keeping them on their toes, you know?
That was good. I like that. I think all the Adventure Time fans love that too.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
That was really good.
That was really good. Now, I do have a fair warning for the next 4 tracks. My notes, for some reason, got really scarce.
Oh.
So.
Well.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. But right now, let's drive to this next track. It's called Let's Drive. See what it did there?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I like that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'll take that award. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. I'm not really a big fan of this one. Like, it kind of sounds like royalty, like stock music.
Yeah. I kind of found that.
That was like a perfect way to say that.
Thank you.
Because that's not what I was thinking, but that's what I was
clicks.
thinking.
Yeah. Sick.
While I do, and this kind of ties into my warning before we kind of started like talking about this track. One of my biggest things with the album is like, I find that a lot of the hype, I really kind of started to lose a bit of interest.
Yeah.
Like after the 5th track, not because it was too long or anything, but like after a while, I kind of felt like,
all right, I get it.
There wasn't really anything that like stood out to me like as much. Except like the intros were all different, but then it kind of just turned into very similar sounding songs than the last.
Yeah.
But I felt like the first 5 were honestly like pretty good and like really stood out to me. This one was, I did kind of say generic.
Yeah,
just
very
a little
much
bit.
so. Especially like in terms like conceptually and lyrically.
Yeah.
It's just about driving with your girl, fellas.
One can relate, you know.
I don't know why I said like it reminded me of like The Outfield, Josie's on Vacation Far Away, just in terms of like the lyrical style. The keys are nice again. The Bon Jovi snare comes back, which is
Jeremy's
cool.
on a vacation far away. Tom would be fucking eating this up right now.
100%. He would have taken this bit and ran.
Oh, he would have screamed into the microphone.
Exactly. And that's an edit for us to fix.
Yeah, us.
I thought the choruses were kind of overall. It just kind of is a little whatever. But I do like the accented guitars with the 16th note hi-hat beat where it kind of switches up. It gives it a little more momentum, a little more energy, and a little more bass would really help this track a lot.
Yeah, the bass was pretty lacking. I will agree with that.
So it's just kind of a whatever track for me.
Yeah, I agree. I always like seeing songs that have like a driving reference to it in the song, because I'm like, this better be like a windows
good
down,
driving song. Yeah.
speeding through the streets on a summer night song, and I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I can cruise on like a Sunday afternoon to this song.
I
You
can
know?
come back from church to the song.
Yeah. Amen. But yeah, like it just, I feel like this song had a lot of potential that wasn't taken.
Yeah.
I still like it. Like it's, again, like I like a lot of things about it, but I just wish that maybe they kind of listened over to it once or twice more before being like, this is finished. Because I just feel like there's a lot of stuff they could have, I put like more bass, more guitar, question mark, I wrote speed up chorus.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if they kind of made
Made it
points
like a little
faster,
Yeah.
I feel like it would have
Kept up
been,
that
you know,
energy.
yeah. But I still liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish it was one of those songs that you can like speed
Cruise to.
on a summer night to. Yeah, you know.
Well, I guess they'll take that into account for next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're actually the focus group of Jeremy Shada.
This goes right back to him, right to the top.
This
Thank
isn't
you.
being released. Only
We're
he.
just recording this for
Only,
ourselves.
only he is going to listen to this.
Next up is Dark Heart, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I think this might be the best track on the album, even though it's not my favorite.
I can
Yeah.
kind of see that. I thought the intro was really weird. One of the biggest things I said with this song was that like I felt like it was kind of tonally confused a little bit because the intro was a little intense.
Yeah.
Very
And
much
then-
a darker, ominous tone.
Without, I mean, it's
Yeah.
called Dark Heart. I guess I could have read.
What do you expect?
I could have read the fine print. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to judge such a... No, but like I kind of thought like the intro for some reason really threw me for a loop because
Yeah.
I was like, whoa,
It is very different from the past
what
six.
the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, it's just Shada again. You know,
Oh, there he is.
It's just him.
he is him. You know.
Yeah.
But I wrote generically like it sounded pretty good, but really nothing stood out to me
Yeah.
other than that.
I think for me, what stands out is his lyrics here. Is that like a lot this whole motif of like using like space imagery and comparing that to kind of this intoxicating relationship that he's just obsessed with is really interesting, and it really kind of shows like like he can like write like really good songs
Yeah.
like when he kind of like puts his mind to it. So that just like really impressed me. I think musically it is a little dull. It kind of sticks with a darker tone, like a little synth wavy, but a little more generic in that way.
Yeah.
I think just like the standout for me was just like the concept and the lyrics. Like, oh, this is like a huge step up. So that's why I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. This isn't my favorite song,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a good song on this
Yeah.
album. I said I write like how he switches up his usual vocals. I thought he sounded amazing
Yeah,
in this song.
totally.
And for him to go from his fun like pop upbeat 80s noise to this like
Yeah,
darker
that hard cut.
like gothic sounding
Yeah.
song, I was like, wow, like, and how he harmonizes with himself like in the track, I thought he did great
That was
with.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the emotion that he has behind his voice in this song. Like, I don't know if this song like hits different than the other songs for him, but I feel like this song has a lot of more emotion and
personal,
passion
yeah.
like that you can feel in his voice.
Like there's like weight
You know?
or something to
Yeah.
like this song.
Like something he maybe went through, or and if he didn't, like, wow, good job.
Damn.
'Cause,
Yeah,
like
true.
it
Yeah.
sounds like it's something he went through.
Uh-huh.
But I can hear like every like emotion that
Yeah.
he has through this,
Trying to
and
portray.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But it was a switch up from like what he
Oh,
normally
definitely.
does. So I was like,
Little
Especially
bit.
from Let's Drive too.
yeah, absolutely. You come from that song to this song, and you're like, who hurt you? What happened?
Did you get in a car wreck?
It's almost
Yeah.
like like the
Car
jarring-
crashed.
It's almost like the jarring peaks and valleys between Minutes Away and Stranger. One
Oh
might
yeah,
say.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is the stranger to Let's Drive's Minute Away.
It's media that references itself, like the Akira drifting scene.
Yeah, oh, exactly. People one day will talk about the Let's Drive Dark Heart comparisons.
God.
But yeah, if we got nothing else, we can move right
All
on.
I got.
Next up is probably my least favorite track on the album.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
Same.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah.
I find the song like I don't know if it's just me being me, but I found the song like really repetitive, and I did
Yeah.
not care for it that much.
Yeah.
I agree. I also feel like this one's really tonally confused too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different elements that are working with each other. Like they combine surprisingly well, but it doesn't really fit on the album at all. Because you have like
Yeah.
this kind of trap beat with like this R&B kind
Yeah.
of jam techno feel. It's like a very odd mix.
I also just didn't really care for the chorus like all
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I agree. The concept's a little weak.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I just felt like the music like I think I said something in one of our like older episodes like if a part of a song is lacking, then like the other aspects of the song should kind of try to cover it up a
Balance
little
that,
bit and
yeah.
like maybe, and I don't want to say like support it,
But like make up for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. checks and balances, you know?
Exactly.
And,
in the music economy.
and I kind of felt like with this one, not only was like the instrumental a little bit dull, but I also just kind of felt that like the content wasn't really worth.
Yeah, I don't really get what he was trying to like. I understand, but the way he went about it, I was like kind of confused. Where he was like, he feels bad for breaking up with this person, but like he's also feels like he's not in the wrong. He's blaming this. It's like a little all over the place in both music and concept.
I guess it really does take one to know one.
And that'll do it for this.
Thank you, everybody. No, please sit down. It's okay. Thank you.
I love you,
Thank you.
Matt.
Kyle, sit down, please. Thank you. Thank you. Nate Roos, please sit down. Thank you. Tom, please sit down. Thank you.
Maria, what'd you think about this track?
I'm so excited for AJ to edit this later.
Me too.
I mean, I agree with what you guys were saying. Like,
Yeah.
this is definitely like a switch. And
Yeah.
I think that this song is the opposite of what he's portraying in the rest of his album with like, you know, love and being that person and, you know, getting, you know, what you need out of a relationship, not, you know, just what feels right or wrong, whatever. This one switches his perspective on the whole album, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
More like negative.
not like,
feel.
oh, like I'm, you know, looking for love and I, you know, but I'm a bad boy,
I didn't find it from
whatever, you know,
you.
like, you know.
I have kind of a dark heart.
Yeah.
So babe, let's try.
But he's like taking it and like, you know,
Because I'm kind of a bad boy.
he's a bad boy who makes midnight
Right,
promises. And,
but don't be surprised if you're ghosted.
because we're gonna be forever young.
Death on the dance floor.
Death on it. No, but I don't. You know, like it
Just
is
kinda
my least
confused.
favorite.
Yeah.
It is confusing. The story, like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Really,
can't
like
really
what he's
follow
trying to
it.
say. What's going on? But I thought like the effects he put on his voice through this song or like at parts of it, like I thought it was cool, like that like echoey sound that he kind of does in this song.
Yeah.
And then like the next song he does more echoey effects. I thought it was cool, but I just didn't.
Didn't, like,
I wasn't
grab you.
vibing with this one. Yeah,
Valid.
didn't hold me the whole way. You know, like the beginning, I was kind of like okay, and then like somewhere along the way, I was like, oh, like what?
What is this?
What is he talking about? Yeah, but that's just
Yeah.
is what it is.
I'm glad we came to a common consensus on this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess it really does take one to know one.
Yes.
And that'll bring us to the end of this album. City of Angels.
End of the podcast, actually.
Exactly,
I
this
don't
is the
think
last
we,
episode.
we can't
That's
do
it.
anything.
We can't top that.
We really can't. No.
I definitely think it is a really solid closer, and it's very different from everything he's been talking about on this album. I guess except for like Forever Young in a way. It's mostly just talking about just like living in LA and like the celebrity life and how it can be unfulfilling and how he wants to get away from it sometimes.
I think like the thing that's very interesting about this is like Brendan Urie, not to like talk about Panic at the Disco again, but one of the things we kind of talk about is sort of the ingenuine sort of feel when he talks about like living in LA. He has a
Yeah.
song called Dying in LA off
That's
of Pray
true.
for the Wicked. It's actually the closer of
And
that
LA
album,
Devotee from Death of the Bachelor.
which is a much better song.
That
than
is also
Dying in
true.
LA. That song is actually kind of good. No, but like I find that Jeremy Shada's like interpretations and like the feelings that he was kind of extracting from himself to put into the song, something about it, like I really was feeling like the genuine
Oh,
like
yeah.
feelings with this
Totally.
one, which I really, really enjoyed in his vocals. Like I don't think this was like the best vocally, but this is another one where I think like I
Like, you
really
hear
felt
the
the
emotion.
weight
Yeah.
of like all he was singing. And like it's such a really like dynamic title too, like
Yeah.
City of Angels. But the fact that he has such like a
melancholic kind of perspective.
like underneath this
Yeah.
bolden like title,
Yeah.
like something about that I was like, that's a nice little stylistic
Yeah.
choice there, that like little stylistic juxtaposition.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah.
The track itself is fine.
Yeah.
You know, like instrumentally, I can't say that it was like, again, my
Yeah.
favorite, not my favorite. I kind of, again, thought the instrumental was like,
Yeah, it's kind of like a standard somber like synth pop ballad.
which I do love. I do love ballads, but I don't know.
He's no Milo.
That's true. But yeah, I think it's very serviceable as a closer, but I also kind of felt like it didn't really grab me by itself.
Yeah, that's valid. Maria, thoughts?
Yeah, this one I wasn't a fan of the song. I like the effects he puts on his voice. I thought the drums were cool. The vibe was kind of cool, but it was okay for a last song.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish maybe there was one more song that he had for a closer, like
more in line with
the
stuff.
rest of the album. Yeah,
I gotcha.
But serviceable is a good word for it.
Thank you.
I liked it still, but just not a favorite.
I think it's pretty valid.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
I think I do really like it as a closer. It's like more of a slow burn, as more elements slowly kind of get like added onto it as it goes through, and like as you said, like the emotions are very palpable on this track, which I really like a lot. But with that, I believe that'll bring us to our final thoughts. So Maria, what did you think of Neon Dreams by Jeremy Shada?
I do really like this album. My favorite song is Ghosted on this album. Not sure if I
Fair.
said that. Least favorite is Takes One to Know One.
Yeah.
I think he did great with this album. Like finding his sound and his song and style and everything that goes into music, you know. And I cannot wait to see what part 2 holds, because he did say
That's
this was a
true.
2-parter, and I'm still waiting for part 2. But taking his time, like writing part 2, I think is
That's
super
the way to
important.
go.
So
Yeah.
I will gladly wait, you know. But for this album, I definitely would give it like an 8 out of 10. I would grade it like a B on like a alphabetical scale. I wish some of the songs like Midnight Promises, Bad Boy, Dark Heart, and City of Angels, he just took a step back and listened to it a little bit more.
Gotcha.
But the other songs that are on there, like how we were talking about, like the first 3 songs, I thought they were very hard hitters. They're all bops. They're all on playlists of mine.
Yeah.
I think they're great. And yeah.
Solid.
So B grade for me.
Solid B from Maria. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I think you can very much see the progression of like the style he's trying to go for, and like I think he very much takes his work a lot more seriously in this one, which I really appreciate. I would even go as far as to say that like the first 5 tracks are honestly like the best parts of the album. I kind of find that the end half falls a little flat for
definitely.
me, where I was really having trouble even like just recalling the songs due to my scarce notes at the end. But also I kind of felt like despite its runtime, it just the end half did not seem to like really have anything that stood out to me that much. I'd probably say my favorite tracks on here are most likely in the first 5. Like just I do like Death on the Dance Floor. Like this was his best vocal track out of all of them. Ghosted was also pretty good because his vocal harmonies and like the guitar, very good.
That hard rockin' feel.
Yeah. Bad Boy, you know, honestly, like he does well with the bouncy feel. He's shuffling
That he
Shada,
does.
you know?
Saxy, shuffly Shada.
That is who he is. He is him.
I've played with Left 4 Dead with him on Xbox once.
He beat me at Fortnite.
He did the voice of Finn. It was really cool.
It was epic.
I heard he's actually really cool at conventions.
I can see that.
But back to the actual album. Yeah, no, I think this is, again, a very good point where like you can see where he's going with his songwriting and like his production skills. And again, if this all was like mostly him playing the instruments, that is very impressive. Being a multi-instrumentalist is not easy. And like if he did it this well, it's pretty fucking impressive, honestly. In terms of a rating, I would probably give this like I think I might give this a low B. I can see this being pushed into like a low B, and then maybe like 5.5. Like I don't see it like too much higher than the other one, and I don't see myself like really listening to the whole thing. Like I could definitely see a world where I'm listening to like Ghosted, and the Midnight. What's it called?
Promises. The Midnight Dreary.
I was gonna say Midnight Surprise, but that is a completely different song.
The sequel to
Surprise.
Afternoon Delight, actually.
Yeah, Midnight Surprise is a completely different song that is nothing like this. But yeah, no, I think it was a very, for an album that was just mostly made by him, like, it's solid.
Definitely.
It's very, very solid. So
Yeah.
low B, 5.5. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
This is definitely an improvement over Mad Love on like all fronts and like production, style, music, vocals. He's definitely found his preferred style and he sticks to it well while also throwing in elements to keep us like on our toes. But some of these like don't really land, or the tonality kind of feels out of place, like on Take One to No One. That one is definitely like the black sheep of this album. The music for the most part is definitely the highlight. Just like the overall 80s synthwave feel is really well done, and the mixing is also really well done. He actually kind of like plays around more with production, which I appreciated. Lyrically, there are highlights, but I still feel like that's Shada's weakest aspect in terms of his music. Yeah. But he is showing promises of like improving, like especially like on Dark Heart. That's very much a step in the right direction. And he is engaging as a vocalist, and he's not really doing anything wrong, but I just don't really find him super like enthralling to listen to.
I understand.
Like he's just a little basic for my liking.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So I'm gonna give this a B-. I think it's definitely a step up. There's room to grow, but he's definitely found his niche, and he should be proud of that.
This might be the most that like us and a guest have agreed
100%.
Yeah.
rating wise
Yeah,
on like any set of albums.
very much so.
Yeah.
So
But-
Maria, thank you for feeding our egos.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Well, I like to not only bring stuff that's like, oh, I love this, it's 10 out of 10 or whatever. Like, I was trying to find cool people. Like, I really struggled with what to bring.
Yeah.
When you guys texted me, like, do you want to be on the podcast again? Because I was like, yeah, but I didn't know what to bring. And I was going back and forth with my sister about a lot of things. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I did? Because my sister just finished watching Dexter. So I was like, what if I brought Michael C. Hall because he's in a band? I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
this
he
is
is in a
Dexter. Like, I listened to his band
actual
music.
music, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Like, it's like dark, like slow, dextery. Like, yeah. But I was like, no, like it has to be something that I listen to like all the songs on the album for, like, you know. And I was like, I really don't know who to bring. Like, I don't know who to bring. And I was like going back and forth in my albums list, and I was like, what songs do I have in my recent liked? And I like a whole bunch of his came up because I just put all the album on there. And I was like, oh, like it would be cute if I brought him because like I feel like they would know who he is and you know be like, oh wow, like I didn't know he sang.
Exactly.
I didn't know he sang. You know.
I did not know.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, like a lot of his songs aren't my favorite, but there are some that I'm like, yeah, like if this came up on a playlist, I wouldn't skip it.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that we all kind of had that agreement of which songs were good and which songs were not.
And like Stranger.
Or Takes One to No One.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow, this was a really agreeable podcast.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
No fights.
Yeah.
No
Well,
fights.
No arguments.
about the edits.
Well, wait till you hear next week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say.
Whatever we record that.
That's true. Yeah. Because we
Tomorrow?
recorded the night
The
before.
night
before.
I edited that night, and then we released it the day of.
6 a.m.
So, yeah. Don't be late.
Nope.
Bright and early.
But Maria, thank you for coming back on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It was lovely having
It
you.
was, yeah. I hope maybe I make another guest appearance, but it's always fun hanging out with you guys regardless. So.
Aw, thanks, Maria. The feeling's mutual. And we'd love to have you back.
Most guests don't say that to us.
That's true.
Well, I'm not most guests.
Yeah.
I'm a bad boy
With the dark.
with a dark heart who lives in a city of angels. No.
Now let's drive this podcast
No,
to its conclusion.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm Neon Dreams Mad.
Evangelion.
We're not talking about Evangelion.
Not until I watch it all.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen it all?
I love Evangelion.
Oh, have
I've
you
seen half of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You should
I
get
should
on
finish it.
that.
I don't
yeah.
have Netflix. Not anymore.
Yeah.
How about you guys put on costumes and act it out?
I'm good.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm good.
I don't really want
I
to
do
beat
not
up
want
Matt.
to be. Listen, I'm fine watching it, but respectfully, I don't want to be any of those characters
They have hard lives
Yeah, so I hear.
and issues.
and issues of their own.
But no, it's funny robots. What could be bad about that?
I mean, Robin Williams talked about it in the movie 1 Hour Photo.
He did.
So that
I
means
love that movie. I just watched that for the first time last year, and
Really?
I was like, oh my god, I have to
Yeah.
show everybody this. He did amazing in that. Not to keep this podcast going, but
By all means.
he did amazing.
He's a fantastic actor, or he was. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah, no, he was a fantastic actor. The fact that he had so much range to play such a twisted dude.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I gurgled again.
did Matt strike a nerve? Like, what?
I think so. When he said he wouldn't act out Evangelion.
Oh God.
Maybe next Halloween.
Maybe next Halloween.
Maybe next
I'll
Halloween
be
we'll
Asuka,
dress
but
up.
in the fat suit.
Yeah, Big Asuka. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Family Album. As always, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
I'm Matt Glass.
And I'm Maria Franckiewicz.
Thank you all for listening and for your constant love and support, and we'll see you next week for Tom Hates Albums.
Peace.
Bye.